Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Komal Shekhawat and I hope you all are doing great. So in this video, I shall be explaining how to create quick charts in Microsoft Excel. So let's get started. The spreadsheet I'm using is a spreadsheet of sales of automobiles by different automobile companies. I'm using a hypothetical data here. So I have in the first column the name of the companies Tata Motors, Maruti Suzuki, Mahindra, Toyota, Ford, and Honda. The last row shows the total sales. The next column shows the sales of all these companies in quarter one. So Q1 here represents quarter one. Then we have sales of all these companies in quarter two and so forth. So this is the sales in quarter three, and the last column shows the sales of automobile in quarter four, right? The last row shows the total sales. So this 550 shows the total sales by all these automobile companies in quarter one. 640 is total sales in quarter two and so forth. So 580 is the total sales in quarter three, and similarly 660 is the total sales in quarter four. Right. So this is a very hypothetical information that I have populated in this Excel sheet. So let's say I would like to create a chart that helps us to visualize this data in graphical format. As visuals are more effective than text in human understanding, graphical representation is preferred to decipher complex data set and to represent data in a simpler form. I shall be using the easiest way for this. So there are two ways. First is just click and drag to include everything, okay, but exclude the total. Okay, so first make a selection of all the entries, include everything else, but exclude the total. Okay, now what you can do, one of the ways is to go to menu bar and select this option insert. And here in the chart segment, you will see this option of recommended charts. So if you select this option, this will automatically generate a graphical representation and the best suited representation for this particular data set. And if you have a specific graphical representation that you want to use for this particular data set, then you can choose from the list available. So we have here bar chart, line graph, pie chart, scatter plot, histogram, and so on. So there are various options available, right? So this is one of the ways. The other, a very quick and simple way is to just make the selection using the mouse and cursor, and then using the Alt key and F1. So use your Alt key plus F1, that will automatically generate graphical representation for your selected entries, right? So this is the chart that I wanted for this particular data set. Now, using this end of the chart, you can drag this chart and put it the best suited position that you want it to be. Okay, right. Now, let's look at the chart. Each of the company here has four different bars. Okay, so this is the x-axis, which is horizontal axis, and then we have a vertical axis. So this is the primary vertical axis here, that is called the y-axis, and this is primary horizontal axis. Okay, and each of the bars here shows the total sales of Tata Motors in quarter one, quarter two, three, and four. So each of the quarter has been highlighted with a particular color over here. So blue color shows total number of sales in quarter one, orange shows total sales in quarter two, and so forth, right? So first set shows the total sales in all the four quarters by Tata Motors. The next set shows the total sales by Maruti Suzuki in 4 quarters and so forth. So you can see for Mahindra, we have this information here. Similarly for Toyota, Ford, and Honda. Right. Now, just with a cursory look, you can see over here, Maruti Suzuki reported the highest automobile sales in quarter 1 because here for Maruti Suzuki, we can see quarter 1 bar is the highest, right? And the lowest automobile sales were reported in quarter 1 of Mahindra, right? So this information gives you a very quick interpretation of the data set, just producing the data information in a graphical representation. Okay, this is one thing. Now, this chart also shows the most popular companies in automobile domain. Okay, so just a cursory look gives you this information that Maruti Suzuki performed the best in the set of these companies that are listed over here. Because, right, we can see quarter 1, in fact, for quarter 2, and somewhat for 3 and 4, the total number of sales are showing better total number of sales of automobile in case of Maruti Suzuki. Right. Now, the next thing that I want to tell you here is that you can use the menu tab to modify the chart. Now we can use multiple options over here to modify, or in other words, we can use multiple options to add some beautifications in this graphical representation. Let's explore all the options one by one. So in the chart design option in the menu tab, we have this list of various options wherein we can modify our chart. So you can just use, by hovering your mouse over these chart types, you can see multiple options are available over here and you can select any one of these, right? So let's say I'll proceed with style 6. Okay, so I'll just click on this one and I've selected this chart design. Next to chart design is this option of switch row or column. And if I click on this option, you can see over here now the quarters are represented on the x-axis, that is our horizontal axis, instead of the vertical axis. Now, we have the information of all the 6 companies of automobile for quarter 1, right? So just a cursory look gives you this information that in quarter 1, Maruti Suzuki had the highest number of automobile sales. For quarter 2, the highest number of sales were for 2 countries. One is Maruti Suzuki and the other one is Ford. For quarter 3, 3 companies registered the same number of automobile sales. And for quarter 4, Toyota reported the highest number of automobile sales. So you can represent your information either way. Okay, you can switch rows or columns and then accordingly you can interpret your chart or graphs, right? This is first thing. Okay, now moving to the next option for chart modification, add chart element. Okay, and if you select this option, you can see over here various options are available like access titles, chart title, data labels, data table, error bars, and so on. Okay, so I'll move to this one, but before that, let's check this quick layout option next to add chart element. And if you select this quick layout option, you can see some templates are available, and if you select, you can go with any of these templates or any of these layouts. Okay, so you can see this is basically adjusting your legend. Okay, so if you go with this option, layout 9, it has basically shifted the legend entries. These are called the legend entries, right? So here, since we have switched the rows and columns, so now our legend entries are the name of the companies. Okay. And if you again switch row or column, the legend entries here are the quarters, quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? So in the quick layout option, you can change the position of the legend entries. You want it to be at the bottom, at the top, at the right, or at the left. Okay. So let's keep all the legend entries at the bottom. Okay. And you can also show the data values in the graphical representation itself for using this layout 5. So I'll just proceed with this one. Okay, wherein the legend entries are mentioned at the bottom, right? So this is about the quick layout. Now moving to the chart title. So using this add chart element, the first we can do is add a chart title, that is third option, right? And you can, put the chart title above chart, or you can place it centered overlay. So using this option, you can rename your chart. So suppose I want to rename this graphical representation as automobile sales. So what you can do, you can select this chart title and in the formula bar, just put equal to and then select this automobile sales which is written over the data set and just click enter. Okay, so you can see over here, this chart has been renamed as automobile sales. Okay, and if you want to add anything else in the chart title, then you can definitely do that, right? So this is about adding chart title. Next, in the list, we have data labels. Okay, now let's say we want to represent a particular entry. So for that, you can use this data label option, or you can directly click on particular bar, okay, just by double clicking on a particular bar, you can see this option of add data label, right? Just click on this one and the data label for this particular bar graph will be shown above it. Okay. Similarly, you want to represent any particular data entry or data label, then you can use this option of data labels, right? The another one that we have is the grid lines. So you can see these faded gray lines in the chart. If you want to remove these grid lines, you can use this option grid lines, and using this more grid line options, you will see another panel in the right hand side will pop up and you have a list of lines. So you want no line, a solid line, gradient line, or automatic, right? So you can select this no line option and you will see all the grid lines have disappeared, right? If you want solid lines, you can select this option. If you want a gradient line, you can select this one, right? So I'll be proceeding with no line option because this gives you a very clear and precise graph, right? So similarly, in this panel, you can see multiple options and entries are available that will pop up as soon as you'll click on this addition sign. Okay. This addition sign again gives you lots of options like axis, right? Horizontal, primary, vertical axis, axis titles. So once you are done with the chart title, which is automobile sales over here, the next one is axis title, right? So I want to put a axis title here. So these are the number of sales of automobiles. Okay, so I'll just put over here number of automobile sales. Okay, so you can add axis title over here. So this title is for the vertical axis. Similarly, for the horizontal axis, we have here the name of the companies. So you can just put simply companies here. Okay. There are still multiple elements available in Microsoft Excel that one can use to modify and add beautification in graphical representation. Right. So so once your chart is ready, your graphical representation is ready. So this is the most simplest and the most quick way to deal with graphical representation. Okay. And the last thing that you can add to this graphical representation is just click on the graph and you can uh, change the font of this graph. You can use any of the font available from the list, and you can also modify the size of the font, okay, as per your requirement. Okay, so this is all about the graphical representation. And the last part of this video is you can copy this graph and you can paste this. If you want to paste it in Microsoft Word, you can do so. If you want to paste this in Microsoft PowerPoint, you can do so as well. Copy this graph using Control C, or you can just, right click your mouse and then copy this information, copy this graphical representation, and you can, open your PowerPoint presentation slide. So this is my PowerPoint presentation, and I want to use that graphical representation in this PowerPoint slide. So just using Control V, you can paste that graph, and you have multiple options in paste also. So if you want to link the data also along with the graph, then you can use this first option. Use destination theme and embed the workbook. Okay, and just using this option, you can paste your graphical representation. You can paste your graph over here in Microsoft PowerPoint presentation, and you can also copy and paste this graph in your Microsoft Word, right? So this is how you can create graphs in very quick and simple way. So I hope this video turned out to be helpful for you. If so, please like this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.